Hello, my name is Ana Salas and I am going to be working a division problem that involves a whole number and a unit fraction. Our problem is Sandy has 2 candy bars. She wants to share with some of her friends. If each gets 1/3 of the candy bar, how many friends can she share with? Looking at our problem, our whole number is the number 2. It is 2 candy bars divided by 1/3. 1/3 is our unit fraction. A unit fraction is a rational number written as a fraction where the numerator is 1 and the denominator is a positive integer. So our denominator is 3 and it is a positive integer. Before we get started, I want to point a few things out. First, I want to point out that my whole number is my dividend in this problem. I'm going to go ahead and label it. A dividend is the number being divided. Then 1/3 is my divisor. And the divisor is a number by which another number is to be divided. Lastly, we have our quotient, or our answer. So once again, our word problem is 2 divided by 1/3. Okay, to solve this problem, I'm going to be using 2 different models. The first model that I'm going to be using is an area model, and I'm going to be using these fraction circles. In the area model, quantity is represented by area. The whole is represented with the area of the region, and the part or the portions of the whole are also represented with the area of a region. So, going back to our problem, we know that Sandy has 2 candy bars. So here are one whole and another one whole. So 2 wholes. Okay? Since she has 2 complete candy bars, we have 2 wholes. And she needs to divide those into 1/3, or parts. A 1/3 is a part of a whole. So we need to figure out how many 1/3 can we get into a 1 whole. So let's go ahead and figure that out. 1 1/3, 2 1/3, and 3 1/3. So I see that 3 1/3 makes my 1 whole. Let's go to the second one. 1 1/3, 2 2/3, and 3 3/3. Okay, so I have come to the conclusion that I went ahead and scooted this down so you can see that 3 1/3 is equivalent to a whole. Alright, 3 1/3 makes a whole. So if I have 2 candy bars and I divided those by 1/3, I come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 1/3. So my answer is 6, or my quotient. So going back to this, the 2 candy bars were our wholes, over number 2 were our wholes, and then 1/3 were the parts we were trying to divide by. Okay, let's go ahead and go to our next model. The next model we are going to be using is a linear model. Okay, we're going to be using fraction bars for this. The linear model is a model in which quantity is represented by length. The whole, which is the number 2, is represented as a distance on a length on a strip or a bar, and the parts, which is the 1/3, are the portions of the whole that are represented as length depending on how the whole is defined. So going back to our problem, Sandy has 2 chocolate candy bars. She has 2 full candy bars. So here we have 1 whole for 1 candy bar, and we have another whole for another candy bar. She needs to find out how many friends she can share with if she divides those into parts of 1/3. So if we use our 1/3 fraction bars, we line them up together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in 1 whole we have 3 1/3. But we are trying to find 2 candy bars or 2 wholes. So let's go ahead and divide again. 1, 2, 3. So in our 2 wholes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 1/3 parts. Okay, so going back to our problem, we can figure out that if Sandy has her 2 bars and she divides them into 1/3 parts, she can come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different parts. Therefore, she is able to share with 6 friends. Going back to our word problem, 2 divided by 1/3 equals 6. Okay. Both the area model and the linear models are a good way to show students how to divide fractions using manipulatives. Thank you for your time.